This is Tanya from the Saved by King Jesus channel. Welcome back. So today we're going to be taking a look into the fog. In the Bible, fog can be used as a metaphor for a veil that temporarily obscures vision. This metaphor suggests that God may send fog to keep people safe and still until they are ready to proceed. And if we look into Numbers 9:15 to 23, a cloud covered the tabernacle in the wilderness, and the Israelites remained encamped until the cloud lifted. Now in Isaiah 62, darkness covers the earth, but the light of Christ will eventually stream forth from the New Jerusalem. Whatever our Father creates for good, Satan always inverts it. So basically we're living in an inverted reality at the moment, and that fog that our Father would cover to protect people, so to speak, and keep them still, well, Satan's using it to make them afraid and sick and afraid.
Like nothing, and bam, there's the flashlight.
This one is the balcony view, and you can't even see the ocean at all, and you can see this big ring here.
By now you've all probably heard about this mysterious fog that's engulfing the earth. And while weather forecasters say it's just some dense fog, weird event, I'm going to show you different.
He authorized Sidney Gottlieb to spray germs into the fog in San Francisco Harbor. The point was to try to infect 800,000 people in San Francisco with this germ just to see how many would get sick. And they thought that the germ would sit heavily in the fog and would linger in the air longer that way to infect more people. Now remember, nobody knew that this was happening. And I don't mean just nobody in San Francisco. I mean nobody. The CIA director didn't know it was happening. The president didn't know it was happening. This was Alan Dulles and Dr. Sidney Gottlieb. So what happened? They spray this poison into the air, and 11 people got identical urinary tract infections within the next 3 days. Now, we know that these were specific to the germ because these urinary tract infections included bleeding, but with blood that had crystals in it. Doctors were so taken aback by the fact that this wasn't just a urinary tract infection, but these people were discharging crystals from their bodies that they actually got together in doctors' groups and talked about it. That what in the world is this? Is this some kind of a new disease? And then like magic, it just went away. And it went away because it was just a CIA experiment. In 1951, Alan Dulles becomes the director of the CIA, just like he planned to.
So it's crazy foggy right now. But that's not the weird part, okay? Like, number one, it's weird because as it gets later in the day, fog should lighten, dissipate, and it's really not. But the weirdest part is the taste and smell. It smells like after you set off a bunch of fireworks, and like the taste of the air is, I mean, the only word I can think of is toxic.
Conspiracy theories.
This is up. It smells. Can't see.
And this isn't even the weirdest part about all of this. There's countless videos of people using flashlights, and that would be LED flashlights, to show this fog. It's actually made up of particles. And if you know me, then you've been following me, you know I've been reporting about this where I live for the past 3 years now, right? I've done videos catching this stuff falling on us on clear nights where we can easily see the stars, but we get that.
am, and so this falls in line. What the is this?
I'm gonna turn my flashlight on.
What is this? This is not fog.
Pay attention. Fog should have moisture. I just drove through thick fog, which by definition is when water condenses and creates tiny water droplets. All my life, I had to use windshield wipers in fog. Not anymore. This is dry chemical fog. Driving 30 plus minutes in fake fog. No windshield wipers required. Wake up. Now, his claim is somewhat backed by this air quality alert, which many people received in Hillsborough County in Florida on New Year's Eve. The alert states, the Environmental Protection Commission of Hillsborough County has issued an air pollution precaution due to elevated levels of fine particulates until midnight EST Wednesday night. Unusually sensitive individuals, such as the elderly, children, and individuals with respiratory ailments, may consider reducing prolonged or heavy exertion outdoors. The general public is not likely to be affected. As you can see, even they are admitting the presence of suspended fine particles that can make people sick.
Now have a look at this. People reporting that they're getting sick after going out into this fog.
Is there something going on with this fog and then people getting sick? Because hear me out. People, Oregon, Florida, like all over the place are saying that they've experienced this exact same thing. I understand it's cold and flu season. Whatever, this could be just a weird coincidence, but now I'm seeing a lot of my friends and people that I'm, follow and stuff on social media talking about being sick, this red sore throat, really bad. I myself have been under the weather for the last 5 days. Nothing severe, nothing like what other people are reporting, but like a scratchy throat. You can kind of hear it in my voice, just kind of more tired and things like that. And I just don't know. It's just strange. It's just strange. The fog itself was strange. I even thought it was strange just when I thought it was just here in southeast Nebraska where I am. When it wouldn't leave for 3 to 4 days, I was like, that is strange. And then I start seeing all these people on social media talking about they're all over the country and they're experiencing the same kind of fog. Makes you think.
Now this lady was having respiratory issues and was shocked to find out what was in her air filters in the house.
Never pulled out a filter this dark in my life. This is not normal. It's black. Look at the new one. Oh my God, y'all. Oh my God. This is crazy. I'm sorry. This isn't normal, yo. It's not normal. This fog is not normal. This is not normal. Never in my life have I ever seen a filter like this. Never. I change these all the time. I have a ton of them.
Now, as I already stated, this weather is worldwide. This fog, rather.
So does anybody else just feel like they should be walking around wearing a gas mask? Like, what is happening in the UK at the minute with the weather? Because all this fog has been here for about 5 days now, and it is literally not budging. And I have never seen a fog like this, what stayed for longer than 5 days, will not dissipate whatsoever. And I've woke up today with a sore throat. It's obviously that we're breathing in, because I don't feel like this is a normal fog. This is some type of chemical fog. And we all know that they hate us and they want us ill and poorly. And what better way to do it than affecting our air pollution with this that the spraying? I don't even know what it is. But yeah, this fog is not normal. And I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but if you've got a white car, the car doesn't stay white for any longer than a day. Right, look at all this. I went and got this car cleaned 5 days ago. Look at that. That's not normal. I've never known my car to be so dirty after washing it 5 days after.
I also noticed since this fog arrived on Christmas Day, you got a sore throat, you started to feel lethargic, you lost your appetite, you felt fluey, you couldn't do anything, didn't have any energy, sweat, couldn't sleep. There's nothing natural about it for me, people. They're doing this on purpose. Whatever's in that fog is making us sick. And I know it's hard for people to get their heads around that they'd actually do it to us. But again, go and research the Georgia Guidestones. Go and research what they want for humanity. Keep us in balance with nature at 500 million. So they've got a big task on their hands if they want this done by 2030. So think about it. Changes in the weather, things they're sticking in us, things they're putting in the food. And I'm past caring what the Karens think. The amount of people in the comment section who say, oh, it's just winter, it's always like that, we always have fog. So this is far from natural, this isn't water, this isn't normal fog. So let me know in the comment section if this fog has actually made you sick.
What's up with the fog? Everywhere I look, there's posts about fog. I just rode back with my husband from Pennsylvania to Georgia, and let me tell you about what we saw. We crossed 7 states. We went from Pennsylvania to Maryland to West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, then Georgia. And there was fog in almost every state. Like, yes, there was some weather going on. There was a little rain here and there, but 7 states, like, it's really odd. Everybody's talking about this fog that's making them sick, this fog after these things we've been seeing in the air that we can't talk about. They're spraying stuff from these things, and maybe it's causing some of this illness, and this fog is part of it. There's this thick fog everywhere we went. And when we got to Virginia, a place called Fancy Gap, I think they're known for having some issues with fog, but this was so bad we almost had to pull over the car. Like, we could not see where we were going.
Now here's something else I've covered in the past. Smart dust. Could that be possibly in the fog?
So I'm today years old when I'm learning about smart dust. Apparently, this was funded by DARPA in 1997 to create millimeter-sized battery-operated devices for a variety of uses. The term was coined by Chris Pinster. Some potential uses for smart dust include monitoring people and vehicles, tracking combatants and civilians, and meeting other military needs. Monitoring the environment, meeting government needs outside of the military, such as monitoring mail in a post office. Okay. Healthcare, monitoring people and the environment. This last one got me. Disaster management, monitoring the environment for disaster management. So yeah, I have seen quite a few comments like this. So I had to look this up, and I wouldn't be surprised. That's what this is, yeah.
So you're telling me that an abnormal fog pops up all over the United States and is being reported in Europe as well, with these particles that are flying around that are not snow or moisture, have a chemical smell, and are leaving a white residue in some areas. And some people who have been exposed to the fog are falling ill with the same illness of inflamed sinuses, can't sleep, loss of appetite, and people think this is just a normal cold and flu and has nothing to do with this abnormal fog? Okay.
So I want you guys to take a look at this, what fog is. Fog illustrates obscurity and indistinction. In the Bible, it is an image preceding great revelations. It is a gray zone between reality and unreality, and uncertainty about the future and beyond. According to Browning, it can represent approaching death, isolation, a transformation into the unreal. So what's up with this fog, given the fact it happens just after these drones or demonic entities, and just after the opening of these 5 doors at the Vatican, one of which, the 5th one, actually creates the sigil of Lucifer by opening it. And let's not forget about the fires now, the Hollywood fires burning. This, of course, is all for entertainment purposes. But it's everything we know on the fog up to press. Our King Jesus didn't bring us this far to abandon us now. You were called, you were chosen. You were knit together in your mother's wombs, fearfully and wonderfully made. We are called to serve. King Jesus bless you all.
I speak the name of Jesus over you.